Well, first of all, it is very significant to see a U.S. president traveling to Israel while Israel is, in their own words, at war. So it really is just symbolically a show of support from Joe Biden to travel to Israel at this time. So really, the main message and the main goal is to reaffirm the ironclad support, as they have called it, of the U.S. for Israel. You're seeing also this support militarily with those two aircraft carriers, strike groups that are moved to the Eastern Mediterranean. There are more weapons going to Israel. So that is really one aspect of this trip. The other one is to avoid this escalation and the spillover within the region. It's a message that the United States is here standing by Israel, and it's a message to all these other forces. You were mentioning Hezbollah with Andrew. There's also Iran. And so the message is we are here physically. Our military is very close by. We're here symbolically. Don't try to take advantage of the situation. That's the message that we've been hearing over and over again. There's also talks about how to get those hostages released. And there is a second aspect to that trip. He's going to go to Israel, but he's also traveling to Jordan, where he will be meeting not only with King Abdullah of Jordan, but also with the Egyptian president, Sisi, as well as Mahmoud Abbas, the president of the Palestinian Authority. So that aspect also shows that the U.S. is trying to sort of mediate, find a solution to contain this conflict and to see how it can avoid this from spilling over, whether it's to the north of Israel with Hezbollah or in the wider region.
So a sense that you're not just sending the biggest aircraft carrier in the world, but two aircraft carriers. For Israel's sake, this is, ironclad. We are bound. We have the support. If you're watching Iran, the US are in this at the top level with the president. However, he'll also look over plans, we're told, for the full-scale offensive. And given the massive concern on the ground in Gaza at the moment, this dire humanitarian situation, what are you expecting from that?
Well, Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, really laid this out. He said that Joe Biden was going to be briefed on Israel's war strategy, but also that he would hear from Israel how it will conduct its operation in a way that minimizes a civilian casualty. And that's something that you've been seeing over the past few days, a sort of shift in the rhetoric coming from the Biden administration. Now, you're not going to see Joe Biden publicly scold Israel or tell Israel what to do in their military operation. But you're seeing with this change of messaging and the wording in some of those statements that there is going to be at least an attempt to quietly steer a little bit that military operation, because Tony Blinken, in his trip around the Middle East, heard from Arab leaders their concern that not having the United States talk about the civilian casualties, trying to put pressure on Israel to sort of minimize those civilian casualties, that this could inflame the Arab world. So the U.S. is striking a little bit of a balance there by showing their support for Israel, saying and repeating that Israel has a right to defend itself, but also pointing to the fact that Israel, like the United States, is a democracy, and democracies follow the rules of war, meaning that they have to try to prevent civilians from dying, that they have to let humanitarian aid pass. So that is going to be a big focus. How much of it will come out publicly is one thing, but it is going to be a message.